Daniel here with Bullseye Leak Detection. I'm going to go over today how to do some soldering with copper pipe. I'm going to go over how we're going to set up the pipe, how we're going to solder it, and a couple safety features we need to look at. First thing we're going to want to do is figure out what type of pipe and what size. On the side of the piping, it'll have lettering. It'll either be blue, red, or yellow. Make sure you know which type of pipe it is. If that is blue lettering, that's a type L. That can go in the ground and can go in the wall as well. If it's red, it's a type M that can only go on the wall, don't put it in the ground. So make sure you know how thick that pipe is. We're gonna need some cutting tools. So first thing I'll do is cut my pipe to the length needed. So I've got my mark, tighten down, and just add even pressure as you cut. So just keep turning and keep adding a little bit of pressure at a time, and that blade will cut through. Like so. All right. Once you've cut through the pipe, it causes needs a little deburring. So it causes a groove, and I'm going to take that deburring tool and remove the burr. I'm going to do it on both sides. All right. It's going to give me a nice clean connection. Really important, my pipe is clean, dry, and prepared before I start soldering. So with the pipe itself, sandpaper is really good. This is just an all-purpose sandpaper for pipe. And just take a little piece of it. Do make sure you're wearing gloves. We've now cleaned the pipe. You can see that it's sanded, it's clean, and it's ready to weld. We want to clean the fittings. To do the inside of the fitting, you're going to need a brush. They make the brushes so they fit the specific pipes, the fitting size. So make sure you have the right size brush. You can also, if you don't have a brush, you can take a little bit of sandpaper, fold it in half, squeeze it inside, and twist it around like so. That will also give you the same effect. Now we've got our pipe cleaned and dry and measured, we then want to apply some flux. This is an acid. Anytime you're soldering, really important you have good quality flux, and that you're fluxing the inside of the fitting, and that you're applying an even coat of flux on the outside of the pipe. And then we can slide that together. And then I like to put just a final little brush around there. Again on the other side. The flux is going to clean and allow the solder to bond with the copper pipe. Make sure anytime you have an open flame, you have a fire extinguisher next to you, especially if you're inside a house. But in general, make sure you have a fire extinguisher on hand. You're gonna want a MAP gas or propane gas torch. I'm gonna wear a mask for the fumes. I've got a heat shield down to protect the area where we've got the torch exposed. We've got our safety equipment out. When you start up your torch, you're gonna turn on your MAP gas. Either use a striker or a starter. Adjust your flame so you get a nice even flame. It does not need to be all the way turned up. I'm going to put the flame out. Turn it down. Nice even flame. I'm going to put the heat onto the fitting primarily. And warm this up. Make sure you get a nice even weld around there. This is soapy water. I'm going to spray it down. It's going to cool it off and clean off any of the acid. Get that flux off there. If you leave that on there, it's going to turn green, get corroded. If you use soapy water, cool it off, use your rag, a wet rag, clean it. Check your weld. Make sure you have solder even all the way around. We had good heat all the way around. You can see the little mark there. And we'll get a nice even weld, and that's ready to go.